Long-standing royal writer Robert Jobson is said to describe in his upcoming book release how King Charles may have no alternative but to strip Harry and Meghan of their titles, whilst he also writes that the King is not in favour of such a move due to his enduring love for Harry. And again, according to the book, despite pressure from the King's aides, he doesn't want to antagonise the situation any further, although he does describe that this has been discussed at the very highest levels. This book, no doubt, is going to have lots of other interesting information in it as well. This is not a sponsored video, but I will link the book in the description below if you'd like to go ahead and pre-order that, which will be due out very, very shortly. And if this wasn't difficult enough, the King is now also facing difficulty with the Church of England over the role that other faiths are going to play within the coronation, because the King wants this to be a diverse coronation. Many reporters and commentators have described just how far the United Kingdom has changed over recent years to become much more inclusive and diverse in its population. However, according to the Daily Mail, sources from the Church have said that the King's desire for a diverse ceremony, including participation by non-Christians, risks clashing with centuries-old canon law, which bars Muslim, Hindu, Jewish and other faith leaders from reading out prayers during the service. The same article reports how church leaders are, reportedly, resisting a more active role for other faith leaders, given that this is an Anglican ceremony, as well as a constitutional event. And it goes on to say that a compromise option for the King could be to hold a separate ceremony at which other faith leaders would play an active role. Now, forgive me for being blunt, but that doesn't seem very inclusive to me. Now, with the United Kingdom being a much more diverse population than it has been in many years gone by, personally, I think if the King wants a diverse and inclusive ceremony, then that's exactly what it should be. I can't really see any other reason that it shouldn't be, particularly if that is what the King wants. Now, of course, there is some law behind all of this, which is supposed to dictate how all of this is supposed to happen. If we look at the Accession Declaration Act of 1910, which pretty much modified the Bill of Rights of 1688, to declare that the coronation, or at the first state opening of Parliament, that the King, as the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, is required by this Act to declare that he is a faithful Protestant and will secure the Protestant succession. If we move to look at this Act, the Accession of Declaration Act of 1910, it has but one section. It provides that the declaration to be made, subscribed and audibly repeated by the Sovereign under Section 1 of the Bill of Rights and Section 2 of the Act of Settlement shall be that set out in the schedule to this Act, instead of that referred to in the said sections. And when we move to look at the schedule, it provides that I, name of the Sovereign, do solemnly and sincerely, in the presence of God, profess, testify and declare that I am a faithful Protestant, and that I will, according to the true intent of the enactments which secure the Protestant succession to the throne of my realm, uphold and maintain the said enactments to the best of my powers according to law. But nowhere in there, on my reading, does it say that it can't be a diverse ceremony. This coronation can, of course, still follow the law and provide the service as was intended. But as I say, if the King wishes for a more diverse ceremony, then I cannot see a problem with it. But in the meantime, back to Meghan and Harry, and what do I think is going to happen and what is my opinion on the situation? Well, not that you asked and not that they matter, but if I were to guess, I would say that the author, Robert Jobson, if that's what he says in his book, is probably right. That if Harry and Meghan continue on the path that they have been vis-a-vis Netflix, podcast series and all the rest of it, and make life difficult for the King and frankly the rest of the royal family, I think this is only going to end one way. And of course I don't like to see families arguing and upset with each other, particularly when it's the royal family of this country. But nonetheless, if this situation gets worse, continues to degrade, I can only see one real outcome. And it's not likely to be in favour of Harry and Meghan. But as I said, that's just what I think, that's just a prediction. It doesn't really matter what I think one way or the other. We will find out in due course. In the meantime, leave your comments below this video. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And I ask you to do that every time, frankly, for a couple of reasons. One, I get new visitors to this channel that are new to the channel and I would like you to subscribe. 2, you've been watching for ages and you haven't subscribed. What are you doing? And 3, because genuinely YouTube, for some reason, the system unsubscribes you now and again. So if you did subscribe before, please do check, because you may have been unsubscribed without knowing about it. And when I check my statistics, over 60% of you that watch this channel on a regular basis are not subscribed. So please do that, I'll appreciate it, and in the meantime, thank you for watching.